Today we have all got together to pay homage to our dear Dr. Lalit Mehdiratta, Editor-in-Chief, Indian Journal of Anaesthesia. Actually, we had planned for a short, brief GC meeting followed by a full house meeting. But those who are present here, please, you can stay. And I'll request Dr. Venkatgiri to formally call the meeting to order. I'll request, as a matter of respect, those who are not a part of current GC, they can, for the time being, for 10 minutes only, switch off their videos. You can listen to the deliberations, absolutely no issues with that. So, Dr. Venkatgiri, President ISN National, please. So our plan is 7:30 to 7:45. We shall be having the ISN National Governing Council meeting, followed by a General House Condolence meeting. Dr. Venkatgiri, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Naveen. Good evening, friends, GC members. It is a sad day for all of us that we lost our editor-in-chief, Dr. Lalit Mehdiratta, today, early morning, after fighting a battle for a long time. No more. He was, I understand that he was doing good and was at home, and his full death was at home itself. Evening attended his funeral online. They have made that arrangement. Naveen was there, myself were there online attending, and it's a great loss for all of us in the middle, because we are losing one of the GC members every time. In every term last, we lost one by one in each term. Anyway, we pay our homage. Naveen, first we will pray one thing, silent prayer, and then others to talk. I think we'll pay one minute silent prayer, and then followed by.
I'll request all. I am muting all, and subsequently allow the participants to unmute themselves. To please sit in silence for 1 minute and pay homage to the departed soul.
Okay, thank you. I think now GC members can express first Vice President, President Director, then the GC member, then you can go for others. Over to you.
You are allowed to unmute yourself, and I can see Dr. Vimeshwar. Unmute yourself, sir. Unmute, please. Unmute, sir. Unmute, please.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. President Venkatgiri and Secretary Dr. Naveen. Today is actually a very, very sad day for all of us. One of our very dear friend, Dr. Lalit Mehdiratta, is no more. I knew Dr. Lalit ever since 1994, when I first entered into the governing council, and subsequently Lalit himself has come into the council when I was the secretary. A wonderful friend and a good guide. He was always there to guide me when I was the secretary, and he used to give wonderful suggestions to me what I should do whenever there is a crisis in the council itself. I am very saddened by the fact that Lalit is no more. He was a very good friend of us, to all of us. In fact, he has visited Andhra Pradesh twice. And then it was like a family. We all went to Papikondalu and all. So Lalit was a very good friend. I miss him. May his soul rest in peace.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Mulida Joshi. I'm losing that.
Yeah, I think President Giri and of course all our council members. It's a very depressing day for me because I know Dr. Alisa for more than 2 decades, and of course, and we in fact we traveled together to World Congress at Buenos Aires in 2020. I was his roommate, and literally treated me like his son. So I'm just giving in that kind of affectionate person, and it's very rare to get that kind of thing, and we spent those 10 days together as roommates, and subsequently he was our council member also, and as an editor, he was doing phenomenal job. More than anything, it's what we always liked about him, the humility. Always he used to show humility and responsibility also. Like he never used to speak without having any kind of, I would like to say, some response towards what exactly he's expressing, and he always had some solution for everything. So that was the best part. In fact, what were the online journal and all those things, what we had to go through crisis, and that was his thought, actually his vision, which we had to implement and all. But we are going to miss him very, very badly. I never expected that death will come so soon. We'll be missing him. But of course, more than anything, any of us, I think the family must go into a tough time. I can't express more than this. May his soul rest in peace, and I hope Almighty gives enough strength to the family to cope with loss, and also ISA and IJ to move on with life.
Thank you, sir. You can see Dr. Balavenkat. Sir, unmute, please.
Truly a very sad day for every anesthesiologist in this country, because we have lost a very senior anesthesiologist, a fatherly figure, an elder brother, and a true friend. He could make friends with us within seconds. He was very, very enterprising, and always he said nothing is impossible to achieve. I've spent several nice moments with him, and the last one was a journey with him in the car for about an hour, and I could understand the deep involvement that he had for the fraternity. Today, as we mourn his death, we need to celebrate his life, a life filled with enormous amount of activities enriching the fraternity. And I think his demise has brought in a vacuum in our specialization in this country. We need to celebrate his contributions by projecting his excellent activities to the fraternity. In this hour of grief, we solidly wanted to convey to the family that let the God give them the strength to face this huge loss. He may be physically absent, but he will be present with us, guiding us through our journey in making our specialty to greater heights. Thank you.
Dr. Virendra Sharma.
Thank you. Good evening, respected President, members of the Governing Council. Lalit was a very close friend of mine, and we, in fact, started our journey together in the Central Zone when that zone formation and everything was to be done, and we were always in touch. And he was a great organizer. I mean, whenever I used to request him, he organized meetings in Bhopal, and such a jolly nature person, and always used to tell me, you control your temperament and all. Then we were in the council as Governing Council member. Later on, he joined as editor-in-chief. It's very hard to believe that he's left us. And the work done by him for the IG, I think we'll all remember all these journal journals and online issues and all. Don't have much things to say, just pray that wherever he is, he remains in peace and calm. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Virender. Not Anjali Bure, madam. Unmute, madam. Please.
It is really unbelievable and shocking news. Now, who would have thought that we would be gathering on a virtual platform to pay homage to our own Dr. Lalit Mehdiratta, sir, Editor-in-Chief, IJ. He left us for heavenly abode, but his valuable and immense contribution will always remain inspiring all of us. He relentlessly worked very hard for the growth of IJ and ISA as well. Lalit sir was a very pleasing and ever-smiling personality, a huge loss to IJ and entire fraternity of ISA. I pray to Almighty to give courage to family members and ISA family to bear this irreparable loss. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Dr. Anjali Bure. With this, Dr. Giri, we come to the formal close of GC meeting for the condolence, and we start the our other office bearers and members are present here. So we start with the condolence meeting apart from GC condolence meeting. I'd like to share a presentation.
GC members, any more GC members?
We'll invite them in some due course of time, sir. Now
Okay, right, we'll go.
Lalit Bhai
Naveen, you start.
was born on 19th May 1963, and today we lost him. We lost him in physical form only. He will always be fondly remembered in our heart, in our soul. And as Dr. Muralidhar Joshi was saying, he used to call him dad. He was such an affectionate person, always guiding, lots of patience, good gentleman, very nice human being. I had opportunity to visit him in January first week, 1 month ago only. And we spent a good time together. And I never knew that within 1 month, he will be not there with us. Lalit Bhai, Mrs. Kiran Mehdiratta, and Mataji of Dr. Lalit Mehdiratta. And whenever I used to talk to him, he used to say, मैं कहता हूँ भाई साहब कैसे हैं आप? How are you? कहते टाइगर जिंदा है और लड़ रहा है. I always used to say, लड़ते रहना भाई साहब. Yes, he was fighting and he fought till the end. Though I had not imagined that within 1 month time this would happen. He was, the last few days of his demise, he was corresponding, talking on WhatsApp. Yes, he had some difficulty in talking because of the 3 surgeries he had. He was suffering from carcinoma of the oral cavity, and his first surgery was done in 2017, and then subsequently he had undergone radiotherapy and was absolutely fine. We had a very good time during the year in 2018 and 2019, but subsequently he again had recurrence for which he was operated twice, and then subsequently the third recurrence was quite fast, and so he got operated for the 3rd time also. It was very painful in seeing his cremation today on Facebook Live and Zoom. And the family has said there is one small tomorrow 4 to 5 there is a Gurdwara in Bhopal in Kirana Road where they are doing the Uthala ceremony. But as Lalit Bhai was hospitable and warmly welcomed, they said that we understand that doctors are busy, so they can come if they want anytime in due course of time also. When I met him last, so I just, what I could give him, I thought only as a matter of respect, for us, ISA shawl and ISA logo is supreme. So मैंने कहा ललित भाई मैं कोई fruits नहीं लाया हूँ, कोई बुके नहीं लाया हूँ. I had brought this thing again to just honor you, respect you. And though I thought that I was giving this shawl to him for the first time, but he said, Naveen, nahi, this is the third shawl you have presented to me. And he then recounted the things also. And I can tell you, I was there for almost 8 hours and we discussed about his illness for maximum 30 minutes or 1 hour. Rest whole of the time, we were talking only about ISA and IJA. And Mrs. Kiran talked to me in person also, and she said, कि भैया आप तो हफ्ते में एक बारी आ जाया करो. ये तो आज he is not rested and he is continuously talking to you, discussing with you, and he is very, very energetic and very, very enthusiastic. So though he 1 month ago he was walking and chatting and on WhatsApp. Subsequently, I was also on touch, but I never knew that this would deteriorate so fast. I was fortunate enough to meet him last month. He will always remain in our soul, in our memories, and may his soul rest in peace. One thing more he had shared to me as a secretary, and I discussed with him, Lalit Bhai, no, he has written a Thanksgiving mail. So I said, when I read that whole mail, so I said, no, it's not appropriate for me to share this mail now. And he said, okay, Naveen, if you read it at an appropriate time. So with your permission, I am reading this mail, which was though written to me on 13th January. But when I read the last lines, I discussed with him, I go, no, I'm not able to circulate this mail. So he writes, Dear ISANs, greetings from the office of Editor-in-Chief IJA. Happy New Year 2022 to all. The last 2 years have been turbulent for all of us, with COVID taking its toll on everyone in general and on our specialty in particular. I really admire the strength shown by ISANs to fight the battle against the pandemic. It is from the bottom of my heart that the Thanksgiving from IJ office to be conveyed to every ISAN on the beginning of the new year. First of all, I congratulate Dr. Venkatgiri KM on taking over as president, Dr. Anjali Bure as vice president, Dr. Bhimeshwar as president-elect, and Dr. Sunil Shetty and Dr. Rekha Das as GC member of ISA National. I congratulate Dr. Muralidhar Joshi for successful completion of his term as president. He said, when you read, call it dad. That dad is saying these words for you. Dr. S. Balabhaskar as immediate past president, Dr. J.V. Divetia as immediate past editor-in-chief, and Dr. Manoj Kumar as GC member. I congratulate dear Dr. Suresh Kumar Bhargava for completing his term as vice president of ISA. I wish him good luck in all his future endeavors. Though we had difference of opinion on certain issues, we worked together as a team. Please ignore any misgivings on my part. They were purely unintentional. Dr. Vender Sharma is as expressive as ever and is an active member of ISA with passion in his heart. I suggest him to be soft and leave the masala altogether. I am proud of Dr. S.S. Bajwa, who has supported me day and night in running the affairs of the prestigious Indian Journal of Anaesthesia. He has worked tirelessly and selflessly with me to take the journal reach far and wide, improve the impact factor and ranking. There are no words to commend his efforts toward IJ and ISA. You may have completed your GC term and your role as associate editor in chief continues. I am sure you will be keep looking on affairs after the affairs of IJA with same zeal, dedication and commitment. I wish you bright future in ISA and may all your dreams and wishes be fulfilled. Serve ISA with same dedication, commitment and sincerity as you have served IJA. I convey my best wishes to Dr. Bharat Bhushan Bhardwaj for a bright future and suggest him to work hard for ISA. Bharat, you are a dedicated soldier. I convey my best wishes to Dr. Ganesh Prabhu, Dr. Rajiv Gupta, Dr. Bala Venkat Subramaniam, Dr. Chintala Kishan, Dr. Ashok Deshpande, and Dr. Sujit Giri. Dr. Rajiv Gupta and Dr. Ganesh Prabhu keep on working as the dedicated soldiers of ISA. I also convey my regards to Dr. SSC Chakra Rao for his untiring efforts in running and propagating the resuscitation programs under the banner of IRC. Your efforts are commendable and your zeal is admirable. I also convey my regards to Dr. B. Radhakrishnan for his blessings and support. I profusely thank all the past presidents of ISA, governing council members, past editor-in-chiefs of IJ, associate editors, section editors, assistant editors, editorial board members, Walter Kluwer and Mr. Mubin. I've enjoyed working with all of you over the years and bringing ISA to such heights. It is the collective efforts of Team ISA and IJ over the years, especially Dr. Kotu, Dr. Harsu, Dr. Devetia, and Dr. Bala Bhaskar. I convey regards to Dr. Madhusudan also. The PG issue of IJ 2022 is almost ready and will be online shortly. The Eastern and Northern supplement of ISA will be released in a couple of months. I am sure the Southern supplement will be released this year. Last but not the least, I am blessed to have Dr. Naveen Malhotra as our Secretary ISA, who has been working tirelessly over last more than 3 years for the upliftment of ISA. He has sacrificed his health and family life while working for ISA. ISA has reached new heights under his leadership, and I am sure he, along with Dr. Venkatagiri KM and other GC members, will make ISA Platinum Jubilee celebrations historic and memorable. I am sure our secretary will attain highest position in ISA soon. My good wishes and blessings are with him. I may or may not be part of ISA Platinum Jubilee celebrations, but ensure that ISA is also prominently celebrated during the year. I also fondly remember Dr. Bhubi Mishra, whom I will meet soon. And he writes, अच्छा चलता हूँ, दुआओं में याद रखना, मेरे जिक्र का जुबां पे स्वाद रखना. Dr. Lalit Mehdiratta, Director and Head, Anaesthesiology and Critical Care, Narmada Trauma Center, Bhopal, Editor-in-Chief IJ, GC member ISA National 2012 to 2016, past President ISA Bhopal City Branch, Chairperson ISA Sim Bhopal, Founder Honorary Secretary ISA Central Zone, past Treasurer ISA West. When I read these last 2-3 lines that I may not be part of Platinum Jubilee and I'll meet Dr. B.B. Mishra, I said, no, Lalit Bhai, I cannot share this letter. So he gave me permission. Okay, fine. Whenever you feel appropriate, share my feelings with my colleagues. May his soul rest in peace and God give strength to the bereaved family. I'll request Dr. Muralidhar Joshi or Dr. Venkatagiri to please carry it forward for a few minutes, please.
That's talking about Lalit. As I was told, me and Lalit were together both in the GC. In the previous one, he was GC. I was the edit. I was secretary. Then again, now the president. I was a MI person. We had a lot of interactions together many times, and we traveled many times together. And I think Bhopal, I did not come. Otherwise, the GC, we had a good time. He was in between taking leave also for. I think he was a very religious man. He was telling that there was some religious functions at his home. He
I think there is some net connection with Dr. Giri. I see Dr. Chakra Rao, sir. Sir, please, a few words from your side.
Okay, till Chakra come that we were in another room, we are together, that is Freemasons. When I got the 25 years jewel in that Freemason, that day he called and told Venkatagiri, I got it last year. I finished, and he congratulated for completing 25 years in the Freemasons. We call each other brother. That day he called. That was the thing I fondly remember, that we together were there in which lodge we belong, and we discussed a lot during that. Anyway, now he is no more with us. Let Naveen, Chakra and others speak. We'll talk about it.
Yes, Dr. Chakra Rao, sir, please. Unmute, sir. Unmute.
Unmute.
So it's a very sad day in the morning. Really, I could not bear this event actually. He is known to me since last more than a decade when I was secretary, and he's a good friend for me. We have traveled together to Buenos Aires and many other places. And he's a good friend. I never I cannot compare him with anybody. He was introduced to me by Sharma, and it is a very large gap we are going to face because of his loss. And I don't know whether actually last month I thought of going to Bhopal for a meeting, but I thought the COVID has made all the mess and we could not go there. We could not see him. And he is a very, very affectionate person, and he is a very important. It is a great loss for me. I'm very sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. V.M. Agnihotri, sir, past President ISA National and from Bhopal. Dr. Agnihotri, sir. Sir, unmute yourself, sir, please. Unmute, sir. Unmute, yes, sir.
Thanks a lot, Tamim, for permitting me to talk something about Mehdiratta. He was a student of mine in his diploma, and after completion his diploma, he went to Bombay for training in the ICCU and came back and started the ICCU services in Bhopal. He was the leading first ICCU in charge in Bhopal. And he actually, you can say, he's the founder of the ICCU services in Bhopal that time. And then slowly I had acquaintance with him for a very long time as a student. Then in the nursing home also I go, and classes he attended in the state meetings, city branch meetings, and practically every time he takes my guidance regarding the ISA working. And he was myself and Colonel R.C. Agarwal made him in charge in the national conferences to look after the dining, because he was very much interested in food. He was a specialist in that way. And in national critical care conferences, and every time he was very active member. And then he finalized to be the governing council member. And I am very much proud that unanimously MP chapter has accepted him as a candidate for the national governing council member. And he proved himself his worth as a governing council member. He was very active and quite a dedicated worker. He was always having the time for ISA, actually, you can say. In organization of the conferences, meetings and everything, he will always participate in that way. And then he finally decided to be the editor, and he became the editor. And today we lost him. I'm so sorry for it. God bless. He should rest his soul in peace. Thank you very much, Naveed, for permitting me.
Please, sir, we also. Please, sir, please take care, sir. Brigadier Prabhakar, sir. I'll request everybody to unmute before expressing.
Oh, it was a shocking thing actually. Mehdiratta used to treat me like his father and my wife as his mother, and always used to respect me in that. I know him from the past 15 years and I terribly miss him. And when I was Central Zone President, he was secretary that time. And though we didn't have any finances, as a zonal president of zonal zone, but we organized the Central Zone Conference and he was responsible for it. And he's a good organizer and good administrator. And he did very well as an editor. The journal used to come well in advance, in fact, 2-3 weeks in advance. And thorough gentleman and ever laughing, smiling. And I thank Chakkar Rao for putting our trip to Kakinada and Rajahmundry, that launch trip. We had several occasions when we were together in Bhopal, and even Vaishnav Devi, he came, I think. And I terribly miss him. And it's a great loss for me. I lost a good friend. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So now, before moving on to further dignitaries, I'll request Dr. S.S. Bajwa, Associate Editor-in-Chief, to convey the condolences on behalf of the IJ Editorial Board. And then subsequently, I'll request the past editors of IJ to say a few words. Dr. S.S. Bajwa, please.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Namaste. I can't express my personal thing here. I want to say everything from the editorial board team. It is with the profound grief and a deep void within me that I stand before you at this moment. Today, we have lost a very precious gem of IJ and ISA. Lalit sir, as the editor-in-chief, was a beloved leader of the editorial team of the IJ. He was a wonderful person, an excellent EIC, very encouraging and patient with the entire team. He valued and respected every editorial team member. He always believed that authors and reviewers are the backbone of the IJ, and he always gave them due respect. His managerial qualities were superb, and they were reflected in his handling of the publisher-related issue. A firm and a principal editor, he was very particular in getting every issue of the journal online in time. His words of encouragement to each member of the team will remain forever in their memories. He's very present in the editors group meetings and various CMEs and workshops, would provide strength and stir up motivation and courage. We were touched by his affection for us and impressed by his way of handling the toughest and the most complicated of situations, be it author, reviewer, publisher, or editor related. During Lalit sir's tenure as EIC, the IJ has touched new heights. In the last 2.5 years, several unique issues of the IJ were published, and many of them have become international hits. Notable amongst these are the COVID supplement, which was the first of its kind in India by any of the medical or surgical specialty. The 2021 postgraduate issue on career in anesthesia, and the current issue on PG curriculum education. Several clinically useful articles were published in Lalit's tenure, and many of them, just excuse me, I'm, the memories have received several citations. Many of them have received several citations. Sir is credited with the publication of the first ever all women's issue of IJ, published in September 2020. Not only that, under his leadership, Journal got the second ranking in Asia for the year 2021 as per the February 2021 stats, and an impact factor of 1.14 for 2020. The stats of 2022 will be available very soon, within a month before the end of the March. The three surges of COVID-19 brought in several miseries to the editorial team. Many of the editorial team members, reviewers, and their family members were down with COVID-related problems. However, just like the sun never forgets to rise in the morning and tries to religiously show his face even in the midst of dark clouds, similarly, each issue of the IJ always came online in time, even during the most adverse situation. The volley of manuscript submissions to the IJ continued unabated during the tough times. The editorial team, led by Lalit sir, handled all this patiently and efficiently. The change in manuscript system by the water clovers and Medno was another challenge to handle, but Lalit sir's patience and intellectual maturity got us through these difficult times too. Lalit sir's demise has left a void in the editorial team. Sir lived a life of simplicity, courage, honesty, and dedication. It was his fond wish that his team should continue to work hard and with the same dedication as always. On behalf of the editorial team, I would say we wish you were always with us, sir. And it's hard to say goodbye. However, the Almighty has something better in store for Lalit sir. And with this thought, we bid him farewell. The sight of the last ride was very gloomy, and we bid a very tearful adieu to the noble soul. Lalit sir may have gone from our sights today, but will stay alive forever in our hearts. We assure you, sir, that your team will continue to work hard and fulfill your dreams of taking IJ to further new heights, including the high ranking among the top specialty journals and Medline indexing for the journal. Om Shanti, rest in peace, our beloved friend. Long live ISA, long live IJ.
Thank you, Doctor.
I'm really sorry for that.
Thank you, Dr. Bajwa. Any of the past editors, Dr. Divetiya, Dr. Harsu, Dr. Bala Bhaskar, and Dr. Kotur. Then I'll move on to the office bearers of ISA Madhya Pradesh, where Dr. Lalit Mehdiratta belongs, though he was the editor of whole of the nation. Dr. Lalit Kumar Pandey or Dr. Sudhakar yeah, Dr. Lalit Kumar Pandey, you can unmute. Dr. Bala Bhaskar, unmute yourself.
Now I'm able to. very unfortunate to meet under this extremely unpleasant circumstance to join this huge meeting. And the numbers of participants themselves speaks for volumes about Dr. Lalit. In fact, in our first term together in the GC, probably I thought he was the closest to me at a personal level. In the sense, yes, I had colleagues from different parts of the country. And from the day one, I thought we had a sort of, a binding. And anywhere we met, and it was always a smiling face, greeting, and he was inquiring about me specifically. And among the group, yes, all of our colleagues were very good, very great. It was a great team. But I always felt that he was special. So that was that feeling is still etched in my memory, and I would always keep on telling him that you're special. And of course, it is shocking to lose him. When you say tiger, he compared him to tiger, but I compare him to the the mentality of an elephant, in the sense the peace and the dignity that he would project. Not it is innate to him, inherent to him. So the way he was being seen within our group, within the ISA community, was this person is a great person. He is like he is wishing a good thing to everybody, not just ISA, and at an individual level also. So that was the feeling I used to get with him. And yes, I'm very happy that I will be shown as an editor-in-chief where Dr. Lalit is also there as part of the Indian Journal of Anaesthesia. And his wisdom was shared with me also when he was part of my editorial team in my tenure. So it was a very pleasant association during those academic times also. And as Dr. Chakrara was telling, we could not meet physically in the last 2 years because of the vagaries of nature. Because of COVID-19, we could not meet. But memories remain cherished in our minds. I definitely feel that he is a star of the ISA, the star of the IJA, and of course he is there in my heart and everybody's heart. I pray for his moksha, his sadgati, and give my deep-felt condolences to the family, wife, and mother especially. God bless everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Balabhaskar. Dr. Divetiya, please.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Naveen. So this is an extremely sad occasion that we are meeting. Dr. Lalit, I knew him because even before I joined the governing council of ISA, because I used to meet him very frequently at critical care meetings and he was of course the leading person in Bhopal and MP, and he always came across as this very imposing sort of person, with a big personality, but such a soft spoken and gentle person. I used to sometimes even think of him as a gentle giant sort of figure, and he was always so nice and so cultured. And then of course we met in the ISA, and he's done fantastic work with the journal, Dr. Even during COVID, where there were so many problems of all sorts of problems, including personal problems. The journal came out bang on time, and I think the journal shone amongst all the other Indian journals that I've seen, because they kept pace with the developments in COVID, kept bringing out these special issues and special articles and guidelines and so on. And I think the Indian Journal of Anaesthesia has done some wonderful work under Lalit's leadership, because unless you have a leader, the team cannot make this output. I think it was just fantastic the way the journal has functioned. I'm sure it will show in the rankings and in the impact factor that will come up. And, when you read out his letter, I think I'm just so touched and I don't know what to say. in his heart of hearts, he's writing a farewell letter, but it's only full of appreciation for everyone around him. And it's the best wishes for the people who are going to be there in the future. It just speaks so much of his personality and his outlook to life and his and the way he looked at people. And I think the ISA and the IJ have been very fortunate to have had his services, although for a short period of time, as a leader, as a council member who has kept the team together, who has looked for the future of the ISA and the IJ at his own great personal suffering. And, he had a long battle. He fought it well, he fought it bravely, but I guess at the end of the day, Uparwala has something in store for each of us. So unfortunately, he will not there with us physically, but I think he'll live in our memories. And I think the best tribute to him, like Dr. Bajwa mentioned, would be to make sure that the work that he started just goes on and the journal just goes on. And, we will always remember his gentle nature and the work that he's done.
Thank you, Dr. Vivek. Yeah, I've been receiving these communications. I understand lots of condolence messages. I can say thousands and thousands I have received today officially as a part of the condolences to conveyed officially. So I formally thank each and everyone, though it may not be possible individually to thank all of you for your love and affection shown to Dr. Lalit Mehdiratta. And yes, I am reading in the chat box, there are numerous suggestions of starting some award in his name and in his memory, maybe in ISA or IJ. Definitely, that is in our heart, and with all of inputs from all of you, it will be started very soon, taking consultations and opinion from all of you. Due to paucity of time, I'll request the subsequent speakers to be brief.
Sir, I would like to, sorry to interrupt.
No, I'm not.
Sir,
I'm not.
may I please say something?
It will go on, but just try to be a bit brief. Yes, before
Okay,
Dr.
absolutely.
Dr. Ruchi Randan from Bhopal, please.
Sir, today I'm speaking out with a very, very heavy heart, and I'm at complete loss of words. I was shocked when I heard of his demise. And I'm reading out a condolence message on the passing away of Dr. Lalit Mehdiratta, not only on my behalf, but on behalf of the Bhopal City Chapter ISA and MP State. Lalit sir was an alumnus of GMC, from where he did his undergraduation and post-graduation. And then later on, he went to Bhopal, to Bombay for honing his skills further in critical care. When he came back, he was very clear. He was very keenly inclined towards participating in various conferences, in CMEs. When he came back, he was the founder member, I would say, of critical care in Bhopal. He not only participated, but also organized various CMEs, various conferences at the local level, Bhopal level, state level, and then later on at national level, not only of anesthesiology, but also critical care. Due to his academic acumen and his inclination towards academics, he was elected unanimously as the GC member of national body, and also the first editor-in-chief of Indian Journal of Anaesthesia from the state of MP. He was founder member. He was a great encouragement for all the juniors. He was a motivating force behind organizing conferences at the local level, and he encouraged us to go out in many ways. He has been actually a friend, philosopher, guide for many of us locally. He was it's actually an incalculable loss, not only to his family, but also to the ISA Bhopal City Chapter, to MP State, and largely to the ISA national body and IJA. I hope we all will be able to do something in our own little bit to make ISA and IJA go forward and improve by leaps and bounds as he had dreamed. It's a big salute to you, sir. May the Almighty grant you eternal peace in the realms beyond. And that is all I have to say. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ruchi. I'll invite Dr. Suresh Bhargava, immediate past Vice President, ISA National, please.
um, today morning, it was really very shocking news for all of us. Dr. Mehdiratta and me met at Berlin 15 years ago in the critical care conference. And since then, we were very good friends. And he was a very noble person, not noble soul. And nobody can forget his contribution for the ISA as well as IJA. I pray to the God, भगवान उनकी आत्मा को शांति प्रदान करे.
Thank you, sir. Dr. S.C. Ganesh Prabhu. Unmute yourself, sir. Dr. Ganesh Prabhu, unmute yourself. Yeah, please.
It is a very shocking news in the morning. So I was very much flattered to hear the news. Really, I lost my great friend, or rather my brother. It's a personal loss for me. Not only for me, it's a loss for ISA, IJA, everything. Actually, we were in touch for the past 10 years. I know him before I came to GC. So he is a wonderful friend of me. Very nice person, very nice gentleman. He's always smiling, always having a helping tendency towards others. So I cannot forget his help when I was a director of when I was in service. He has helped a lot. Really, I am in deep sorrow that I have lost my brother. It's really a great loss for me, great loss for IJA, great loss for ISA. Actually, he worked for upliftment of IJA in very hard, and he finally achieved it. But God didn't allow him to have the honor of that. So I cannot forget him. Brother Lalit, I am always missing you. Thank you.
Dr. Arthur, sir, please.
Naveen, it's indeed my day began with a sacking and a sad news. Loss of Dr. Lalit. Lalit and me were great friends from the time of our governing council. I knew Lalit only from 2 points. Always used to remember. One thing is always a smiling face. Always a smiling face. I think many of my colleagues acknowledge it. And second thing is, he's a real genius. You talk anything about the anesthesia, pain relief, and intensive care. That's the thing I liked him the most in that. And the best part that came to my mind was when he was elected as the editor. The only thing what I used to tell him that came to my mind once again was he had the confidence in whatever he talks or whatever he does. And he proved that he had a confidence in himself about the journal, and he has proved it beyond any reasonable doubt. But thing is, the God is unkind to us that he has left us too very early, and he has left the IJ. I only hope and pray God that this noble soul rest in peace. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Dr. Arthur. I see Dr. Tejke call.
Very, very sad to hear about the demise of a very, very dear friend, Dr. Lalit Mehdiratta. I knew him since the days he came to Ludhiana on the ISA annual conference. He was a gem of a person. He had innumerable qualities which are very difficult to be enumerated all in a short time. He had an excellent control over the journal. The way he handled the board of the editors was superb. the way he brought out the journals and the special issues at the right time would speak volumes of the person who devoted completely for the upliftment of the Indian Journal of Anesthesia as well as the Indian Society of Anesthesiologists. I bow my head to his memory. He was a great friend. May he live in peace in the heaven, in the feet of the Lord. That's all I can say.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Dr. Ranganathan, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, Dr. Ranganathan. So I think there is some network issue. So Dr. Arvindare, please.
Thank you, Dr. Naveen. My heartfelt sympathies to the family for having lost him at such an early age, much younger than people like me. But one thing I must congratulate Dr. Lalit. That is for a very simple reason. Some of us might not like it, but the fact remains, being a non-academic person, being a non-teacher, he has proved that editor of IJA could be the person himself, not academics. I feel really great. This is not to downright the teachers who are in ISA, but this is to show that if the person has the commitment and the ability, without being an acknowledged teacher of any institution, he could still lead IJA and take it to greater heights. My best compliments to him, and the last farewell letter really brought tears to all of our eyes. A person who could write like that, unimaginable. My prayers for his soul and strength to his family. Thank you, Dr. Naveen.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Ranganathan, sir, please.
Yes, this is a very sad day for me. I know Dr. Mehdiratta from 2001 onwards, when we went for the Bhopal conference, he was a very good friend of us. He is a very dynamic person to handle all the mass in that conference. He is a food manager. He is able to host it very well. After becoming close friend of mine, after becoming the editor of IJA, he has done the wonderful job for the upcoming of our journal. And also he is a very close friend of Dr. B.B. Mishra. Both of us, we met him in his house also, along with R.C. Agarwal in Bhopal. So it is a great friend. I lost him. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ranganathan, sir. Dr. Shiva from Hyderabad.
Good evening, everyone. My friendship with Lalit ji was in Hyderabad. One of the conferences in Hyderabad, I met him. He's such a lovely person. Immediately, he is affectionate and we all adore him. And very unfortunate and very sad to know about the sudden demise of such a lovely person. I pray to God that give the family enough strength to come out of the situation, and also pray to God to give him Sadgati. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shiva. Dr. Manisha Gatikar.
No words for me to express my feelings today. It's really been a sad day. I'm deeply saddened. I know Lalit from 1990 to 93. We spent our residency days together in JJ Hospital. He was my senior in Kama Hospital. Then we got reconnected in Bhopal conference, and we then got reconnected in ISA. And then I got an opportunity to work with him under his able leadership in IJA. I'm deeply saddened. I'm going to miss my elder brother. Rest in peace, Lalit. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Dr. Pankaj Gupta. Dr. Pankaj Gupta, Dr. Manoj Kumar. And Dr. Lalit Pandey from MP. Dr. Pandey, you can go ahead.
Sir. Hello.
Yes, please go ahead. So I think there are some internet issues. Dr. Pankaj Gupta, you can unmute yourself. It is allowed. I was reading your message that it is not allowed. Please, you can unmute yourself. Any of the GC members, Dr. Sunil Sethi, Dr. Rekha Das, Dr. Rajiv Gupta, Dr. Bharat Bhushan Bhardwaj, Dr. Manoj Kumar, you can unmute yourself and express, please. Dr. Surinder Rai Kumar and Dr. Avnish Bhardwaj, Dr. Sudhakar Dwivedi, please unmute yourself. I was reading in chat box your request to speak. So please unmute yourself and speak, please. You can convey your condolences, please. Yes, Rajiv, go ahead.
Yeah, it's quite disheartening to learn that our dear friend Lalit is no more. Actually, I was shocked to see the message from the Secretariat that Lalit is not with us now. Still, I'm not able to believe that he's not with us. Actually, he was my contemporary batchmate, 1983 batch. He was in Bhopal and I was in Gwalior. We were very close friend and came more closer at the time of election, where we moved together from one state to another. I can say that he was very hardworking, and ISA journal speaks a volume about it. It's not only a personal loss to me, but loss to ISA and IJ also. I pray Almighty to rest his whole soul in eternal peace and give strength to his family to bear this unfathomable loss. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
Thank you, Dr. Rajiv Gupta. I was reading that some messages that you are not allowed to mute. So I am again muting all with an opportunity that participants can unmute themselves. So, Dr. Kiran Geda, unmute yourself, please.
Yes.
Now
Thank you, Naveen. I would like to speak. Mehdiratta. He is a very good friend of mine. Very soft spoken, ever smiling face, and he is a very good friend of all of us. And morning when I saw that message from my secretary, I really wondered and shocked. I could not believe for some time that I am reading the wrong. I pray Almighty to give strength to his family members to bear this loss. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Dr.
Good evening, Mr. President and Secretary. Myself, Dr. Surendra Aikwar. With profound grief, the unfortunate and sad demise of Dr. Lalit Mehdiratta, sir. Lalit, sir, went away so early. He was very soft-spoken person, always helpful to everyone, a thorough gentleman. He is a great organizer and a planner. He worked hard for the society, ISA. It is a very big loss to Anaesthesia fraternity, ISA as well as IJA. He always encouraged me every time when we met and always advised me to do better for the society. Definitely, he was my mentor. He always guided me, supported me, and blessed me. This is my personal loss, but he will always live in our memories. May God give his soul eternal peace in heavenly abode, and my sincerely prayer for the family to bear the loss. Rest in peace. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., Asthi Sanchay program is going on, and at 4 to 5 p.m. at Arera Gurdwara, Antim Ardas was going on. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajkumar. Yes, I reiterate, 4 to 5 p.m. Gurdwara at Arera Road.
Arera Colony, Arera Gurdwara.
Arera Gurdwara in Bhopal. But as his family has also conveyed that doctors can, with their busy schedule, they can come anytime. So absolutely, they are also as warm as Lalit Bhai was. And then I'll move on.
Hello. Lalit Mehdiratta sir is very good friend, and I know him since 12 years. He uplifts the ISA and IJ in more height. So my sincere condolence, and may his soul rest in peace. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Dr. Manoj. Thank you, Dr. Gupta, please.
Yeah, hello. I'm audible, sir?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. Today morning has probably been one of the another saddest day of my life. I feel Mehdiratta sir was like an elder brother. Being a private practitioner, we shared a lot of things in common. I had a lot of discussions with him, and he had a wonderful vision of how to go about creating a problem. Discussing the issues of private practitioners. And it was a very happy moment when I saw a total dedicated IJS to the private practitioners' causes. I feel I was in touch with him till the last 6 months, but I feel in the last 6 months we have stopped responding even to phone calls and messages. I mean, the last message I got was about 7 months back. I feel even 2 months back I tried calling him up, but he was not responding. And I feel
Dr. Pankaj Gupta. Dr. Gopinath sir, please, from Hyderabad.
I met him a few times, and he came forward as a gentle giant, ever smiling, like everybody mentioned, and such a wonderful human being. And like somebody mentioned, he has taken IJA to great heights and maintained the standards so wonderfully. And every issue came online on time, and especially during the COVID times, he used to keep sending messages. I'm sure if you're busy, please take some time and get things done. So very organized, wonderful human being. He lost ISA and IJA, and I pray to God that the family bears this loss, and Om Shanti. God give him peace.
Thank you, Dr. Gopinath. Dr. Lalit Pandey, you have been waiting since long. Please unmute yourself and express. Dr. Pandey, Lalit Pandey.
Sir, pranam, sir. Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
हाँ, मेहंदीरत्ता सर मेरे से थे और मेरे एमसी स्टेट चैप्टर में एक मार्गदर्शक के रूप में थे. उन्होंने मुझे हमेशा एक उचित सलाह दी और हम इतने कम समय तक उनके साथ में रहे. हमारे परिवार के एमपीआईसी स्टेट चैप्टर और नेशनल बॉडी के सबसे बड़ा लॉस है आज, जिसको कि मैं अपने शब्दों में व्यक्त नहीं कर सकता हूँ, है ना. परिवार को ईश्वर उनके बहुत हिम्मत दे और उनको अपने में जगह दे. ओम शांति. ओम शांति.
Thank you, Dr. Pandey. Dr. Reddy Len Prasad, sir, please.
So today morning, it is a very shocking news to see the sad demise of Dr. Lalit. He visited Andhra Pradesh many times. He attended many conferences, CMEs. And once in my place, we arranged a boat ride on Godavari. He also attended that meeting. He is a very friendly person, and his contribution to IJA is unforgettable. And he made his mark on IJA. And may his soul rest in peace. We are very, I'm heartful condolences to Dr. Lalit sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Zulfikar Ali.
It's a very sad day for all of us. I have no words to express this irreparable loss that all of us have had today. I had the privilege of working with Dr. Lalit for last few years, and it was commendable to see his passion while working for IJ. It was his dream to see IJ reaching greater heights with each passing day. Unfortunately, his premature demise today, it's a huge loss to the IJ, to the ISA, and all of us. May Almighty give the courage to his family, to all of us, to bear this irreparable loss.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Mutarani, please. And by the time Dr. Mutarani comes, Rakesh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, madam, please. Rakesh, after.
Though I have no direct association with Lalit, sir. I feel very sorry and sad, upset in the morning for the irreparable loss of an eminent, dedicated ISA member, executive member. I could sense the impact created by him in each and every ISA member and in IJA for the past half an hour. On behalf of ISA Tamil Nadu chapter, I express our deep condolences. May his soul rest in peace. Long live ISA. Thank you, sir, for the opportunity.
Thank you. Dr. Rakesh, and then subsequently Dr. Chandrakant Patel from Railway Association of ISA, and others who want to express, please raise the hands. Dr. Rakesh Garg, then Dr. Chandrakant Patel.
Thank you, sir. I think early morning news was quite saddened because I have heard always for last so many years, not only just on professional front, but also on personal front, so many appreciation. I think the words which has been used by our seniors, the giant gentleman, the lovely tiger, a great academician, a great human being. I think whatever interaction I had he's one of the gem of the person that we have lost. Though we may not have replacement from him, will be always filling a gap into us having its absence. But I'm sure the footprint that he has left for us, we all together will take it forward, will fulfill his dreams, and the high standards that he has maintained for the society, for the journal. I think it becomes our duty to take it forward and to take it more high. I think devotion, that's a dedication from our side to him. And may the noble departed soul rest in eternal peace, and the family members get a strength to bear this premature loss from the family, from our society. And I think wherever he goes, his blessings, his support, his guidance will be all with us. Om Shanti.
Dr. Chandrakant Patel, and then I'll go to Dr. Kuchila Babu. Dr. Chandrakant Patel.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. On behalf of Railway Association of ISA, I pay our homage to our beloved Dr. Mehdiratta sir, who was as expressed by many of us, he was a gentle giant. He was kind of a parent figure for the youngsters, and he has taken the level of IJ to new heights. I would like to remember him for his insistence, persistence for our association, Railway Association of ISA, to put some paper on the issue of the COVID at the time of into 2021. So that was the leadership quality of Dr. Mehdiratta sir, that he could get the things out from the person who or organization even who were not rather I would say not active. So he used to get a good out from everyone of the members of the ISA. His loss is a really great loss to all the IGA readers and the ISA members. May God rest his soul at eternal peace and give strength to the family to bear this untimely loss. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Dr. Chandrakant Patel. Dr. Kuchela Babu, sir.
Respected members of ISA, first of all, I may say my condolences to the family of bereaved Dr. Mehdiratta. Sudden demise. It is a very great loss, especially in person and to the Andhra Pradesh. He is very, very attached to the Andhra Pradesh ISA since a long time. We are associated from the beginning of, he joined as a GC member previously also. He's a good human being. He's very, very cordial. He always say, Kuchela, always say, you will backbone of us. Anything he wants, I will say, I will with you. He's a great personality. He always believe in friendship. And also, he maintains high dignity. And also, he did his, he became an editor. Journal became very, very, especially in the COVID time, he brought out such a wonderful and most important, more than any of the journal of the international standards, bringing out the advices of a COVID to the forefront of the all other journals, especially the COVID warriors of anesthesiologists, is how to tackle the in the COVID time. I hope it is a very, very, very irreparable loss to our society. I pray God his soul achieve moksha. I say my condolences to the family, bereaved family. I wish we should, all of us, can able to accept the sudden damage to the happened to our society. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Paul O'Ruffle and Dr. Chetna Agarwal, you raised hands. Dr. Paul O'Ruffle first, please, and then Dr.
On behalf of the Kerala State Chapter, I express my heartfelt condolence on the loss of our great leader. It's a huge loss, and I pray the God Almighty give the strength and the power to their family to withstand and move on during this occasion. Thank you very much, and thank you for giving me a chance to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. Dr. Chetna, please.
Good evening, everyone. Even though I'm wishing good evening, it is definitely not a good evening for all of us. On behalf of ISA Varda, I would like to give my deep condolences to the untimely demise of Sir. This is a huge loss to ISA as well as IJA. IJA, under the leadership of Lalit Sir, went to new heights, and the messages of IJA were regularly floated on time, despite whatever COVID situations brought the problems were there. Still, every time it was on time. And may IJA continue to reach new heights under the auspicious guidance of Sir from his heavenly abode.
Thank you, Dr. Dr. Diwan, your raised hand, please.
Thank you, Dr. Naveen. The day started with a very sad note, and I don't know how many, still many mornings it will continue as a sadness for us, all of us. Particularly recollecting the last few lines of the message, the email Dr. Naveen Malhotra read. I'm sure everyone who has witnessed what he said is moved with that, and it will linger for many, many days to come. I had a very passing interactions while his governing council tenure, as well as in few of the ISACONs in past, but my interaction was more when in late 90s and when the ISACON 2020 was to be organized, and for a couple of months for giving the ads in the journals, and he was guiding me a lot. He was guiding me how to spread the message of ISACON and said the messages to the PG for the quiz we had started and all, and he was a great help to us. Suddenly the ISACON got postponed. Suddenly I lost the interaction with him, and ultimately we lost him physically today. I'm sure he's going to stay in our heart forever and ever and ever. And I convey sincere gratitude to what he helped me, to his soul. And I pray God to give a strength to bear this loss to the family members and the extended family members of ISACON and IGA. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Shiv Kumar, please, from Karnataka. Unmute yourself, sir. Unmute.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Deepest condolences on this very sad day. And we pray on behalf of Hubli Dharwad ISA members to give enough strength for the family to bear the loss. He was a great, great, great human being. And we read the articles, very compassionate, very down-to-earth, and he is very near and dear. It's a great loss to ISA. And enough thanks should be given for the family, bereaved family. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Madhuri Kurdi.
It's indeed a very sad moment now for me to participate in this condolence meeting. I was really very fortunate to have worked with Lalit sir as the editor-in-chief of our journal. And I found that he was a very patient, very determined, and a very principled person. And as everybody has already said, he has taken the journal to international levels. And I'm really indebted to him for having given me a chance to work for the journal. And I'm sure that we will live up to what sir has written in his letter, that we have to continue to work hard and with dedication to maintain and uplift the standards of the journal. And I pray that sir rest in peace, and my heart at this moment goes out to his family members. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Madhuri. Dr. Anita Nehte, please.
Good evening, everybody. Though I didn't have the privilege to work with Dr. Mehdiratta sir, but I can see with all the members who are expressing their views that we have really lost such a gem of a person. And I sincerely pray from IC Maharashtra State for his soul, and my best wishes, or my wishes for the bereaved family. Thank you.
Dr. Shilpa Tivaskar.
Yeah, I did not have the opportunity to work with sir, but I remember in 2019 when sir was there for our WAD conference, I had a small interaction with him, and it was so humble, it was so caring. He was like, you have to bring about the best in you, you have to start writing, and it was really encouraging. And the IJ journal has really reached a great heights, and sir will always be remembered in our memory and in our hearts. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Kala Ishwaram.
Yes, good evening, sir. Dr. Lalit, I had the opportunity to meet him twice during his elections times and at the conferences, and every time I have met him, found him to be very down to earth, not no attitude about his position, and he guided me how to send my articles to the IJA, and this is an indeed loss to the entire ISA family. And through ISA Kalyan, on behalf of ISA Kalyan, as a secretary, I extend the deepest condolences to the entire ISA family and his own family members. And I hope God gives strength to everyone to face this. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Dr. Baljit Singh, sir. Sir, unmute yourself, sir. Dr. Baljit Singh, sir, unmute, please.
Sorry. Yeah. Good evening, Dr. Naveen. I think it's a very sad day for all of us. I joined the meeting late because I was stuck in the OT. So it's a very sad day for us. He was such a lovable person, down to earth, very polite, very humble, very jovial, so comfortable with everyone, every kind of, I never seen him angry with, getting angry with anyone. Very positive all the time. I don't know how I can express the loss of this kind of person, so lovable. I have just no words to express my grief at this. I only wish and pray that his journey to the next world be as peaceful and trouble-free for him. God bless him. Bhagwan, usko apne charanon mein shanti bakshe. That's all. With folded hands that I can say. Thank you so much.
Dr. Sharad Kumar from Bihar, Jharkhand. And then I'll move to Dr. Shaili Rana from Himachal Pradesh. Dr. Sharad Kumar.
हेलो
Yes, please, Dr. Sharad.
सर हमारे बिहार झारखंड और पूरे आईसे समाज के लिए सोसाइटी के लिए बहुत बड़ी क्षति है भगवान उनकी आत्मा को शांति दे यही चाहते हैं कि भगवान उनको अपने चरणों में जगह दे धन्यवाद
Thank you, Dr. Sharad. Dr. Shaili Rana. Dr. Kishore Arora, sir.
It's a great loss for his family as well as great loss for ISA family. ISA Bhopal, ISA MP, ISA National, especially ISA. My heartfelt condolences. May his divine soul rest in peace. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dr. Tanveer from Punjab.
Sir, it's a great loss for ISA, IJ, and as well as the family. I met Sir 5-6 years back when he was in Ludhiana for ISA as a GC member for the ISA 2016 conference. And I remember one incident, and when the cars to take the GC members to the venue were less, he said, I can walk to that place. So he was such a humble person. Coming this from a GC member at spontaneity, I felt that he's such a humble person that he's agreeing to walk to that place. We have lost a great personality. May his soul rest in peace.
Thank you, Dr. Tanveer. Dr. SP Chitoda, sir. And then I'll come to Dr. Javed Khan. Dr. Javed and Dr. SP Chitoda, sir, unmute yourself, sir, please.
Hello, Naveen.
Yes.
Certainly not a good evening.
Dr. Javed, Dr. SP Chitoda is there. Please.
Yes. Sure.
Yes, sir.
Chitoda, sir, please.
Yes. Halanki, Dr. Mehdiratta was a very good man. Although I have not met personally, but on conversation for the IJ journal articles, he was very good and nice and a very good person we have lost. He has raised the general to the heights. I pray God's Om Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Javed, and then I'll come to Dr. Shamshad Begum.
Hello. Naveen, certainly the saddest day of my life as things going on. I can't understand that Lalit has left us. He has broken the 40 years of togetherness. He was the first batchmate of myself in the Gandhi Medical College. We got the admission on the same day. And the relationship, friendship continues thereafter. He became anesthetist. I also became anesthetist. And when in his difficult days also, he used to call me and deliberately cut off his phones. He used to talk only on messages because he has a very difficult situation in speaking to someone. And when he was elected as a GC member in Indore in 2012, he was carrying a lot on his shoulder of the work he has done for the Bhopal and of the MP chapter, and very affectionate. And every time as everybody says, I used to call him, what's going on? Then he used to say, Abhi Tiger zinda hai, Tiger is working. So that's all I can say. कि Allah usko mere dost ki maghfirat farmaye. That's all from my side. I lost a great friend, great human being. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Javed. Yeah, I understand. He always used to say, Tiger zinda hai aur lad raha hai. And he fought till the end. Dr. Shamshad Begum, please.
It's really unfortunate to attend a meeting like this by losing him over the phone regarding the articles of IJA. When he was such a nice person, and he was when we talked to him, he was such a so sincere, and he was so down to earth character. And it is very it's a great loss for the ISA as well as the IJA, because we have seen that the IJA has gone into such a height, and also we are getting it's in the right time when he became the journal of it. And I thank you for giving me an occasion to speak like this also, and also may Almighty give him his family members to face his loss. And also I express our sincere prayers and condolences on behalf of members of the ISA Kerala state. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Shamshad Begum. Dr. L.D. Mishra, sir. And in the meantime, Dr. Sadhana, please, you have raised your hand. Dr. Sadhana from Mumbai. Dr. Sadhana, please. Your audio is not coming. Madam Sadhana from Indore, your audio is not coming, madam. I think there are certain audio issues with madam's.
नवीन सर उनको बोलो लॉगिन अगेन कर लें, दोबारा लॉगिन कर लें वो.
मैडम साधना, आपकी ना your audio is not clear. You will have to log out and log in again. You are not muted, you are unmuted, but my request is log out and log in again. You will be able to listen to you. In the meantime, madam joins again. I read somewhere in message, somebody from Manipur and Dr. S.M. Basu and Dr. L.D. Mishra also expressed. So if they are here, they can please express themselves. And I can understand, got so fond memories of Dr. Lalit Mehdiratta, sir. We have to, but keeping in mind the time constraints also. So another 5 minutes or so, we can convey our feelings for Dr. Lalit Mehdiratta. Yes, Madam Sadhana.
Am I audible now?
Yes, Madam, please go ahead.
I'm so sorry, my audio was not audible. I had always been seeing him working with the people, ever smiling, ever helping. Though I have not worked with him, but I have always met him in the conferences, and he was ever smiling and always ready to. Can't believe that he is no more. He's still there. We can't leave him like that. He is no more. Can't think of that. My heartfelt condolences to the family and ISA as well, because it's a great loss to the family, ISA family itself. Long live Dr. Mehdiratta. So sorry to hear about him. Om Shanti.
Thank you, madam. Dr. Churika Sinde, please. You have raised your hand.
Yes, sir.
Dear friends, it's a real sad news to hear all this. The day started with the black day of all of us. It's ISA and IJ. Can't express my condolences to the IJ family, ISA family, and the family itself. It's really very untimely, and everybody will now understand that IJ is going to fill his void, because he's taken IJ to international levels. Such a great heights he has reached, and writing a journal under Sir's guidance in IJ was a big achievement. And if we are feeling so sorry, what about the family who is having to remember him only in the memories now? I pray to Almighty that he attends heavenly abode. Om Shanti. My deepest condolences. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam. Dr. Surika Sinde from Pune. Dr. Jaideep Singh, please.
It's really a sad day for all ISA members and ISA as a fraternity of anesthesia. As I know Dr. Lalit Mehdiratta sir, he's always kind to everyone. So I am very junior to him, but he's always helped me just like a brother. As a mentor. It's a big loss for ISA, for society. I think it's for human being. As a human being, he's a great person. So it's a loss for mankind also. Let's everybody pray for his soul. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Dr. Jaideep Singh. Dr. Toibenba from Manipur, please. So by the time he connects, anybody so before we come to the concluding parts, I started this meeting with sitting in silence for 1 minute to pay homage to the departed soul. I request all of you to please again sit in silence for 1 minute to pay homage to the departed soul, and may Sir's soul rest in peace, and God give strength to the bereaved family to bear this irreparable loss.
तुम्हें देखना, तुम हटाओ, दो देर नहीं पड़ा बस में।
Om Shanti. Before I finally invite Dr. Venkatagiri sir again to say the concluding remarks, I profusely thank from the bottom of my heart for all the condolence messages which have been received throughout the day and on telephone also. And I'm still receiving in chat box. Give us time. Okay, one last chance. Somebody wants to express, please. You can do it now, and otherwise we'll convey your condolences to the family also. And suppose anybody wants to say, please. Yes, Dr. Preeti Kanodia, unmute yourself and please express yourself.
Namaste, everybody. This is Dr. Preeti Kanodia from ISA Borivali. Now here, I see a lot of dignitaries who have worked with Sir and interacted with Sir on so many occasions. I'm a nobody, but I would still express my feelings about Sir. He was exactly like what each one of you have mentioned. On my part, I had occupied an empty seat at one of the national conferences. I was a nobody back then. I was just a student. He did not know me. I did not know him. But at the end of the lecture, I realized he was such an easy person to have a conversation with. I later on learned who he was. I met him on a few occasions after that, and Sir always smiled back, always inquired how I was doing. A perfect embodiment of a humble, dignified gentleman and a great soul. I cannot continue beyond this. Thank you, everybody. Om
Thank you.
Shanti.
Thank you, Dr. Kutu. Dr. Thoiba from Manipur, please. You can express yourself.
Actually, very sorry to learn about it. I personally don't know him, but we read the journal under his leadership, and we found the standard to must improve, quite knowledgeable. And I could not turn on my video because of some electricity problem. Still then, I conveyed my heartfelt condolences to the family. Om Shanti. Thank you for giving me the chance.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Shripada, please.
My dear ISA and IJ colleagues, on behalf of myself and ISA Mangalore City Branch, I express our deepest condolences to all our fraternity and the family of Dr. Lalit, who was a great devoted worker for ISA and IJ. He brought up IJ to definitely newer height with so many difficulties around during the COVID times. It was a wonderful work he did, which kept all the people together and brought out the great issues. And we again express our deepest condolences. May God Almighty give strength to bear the loss to all of us, and especially the family who must have having real great grief. Again, I pray the God and Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shripada. Yeah, it's very hard for the family, and Lalit Bhai is survived by Madam Kiran, his wife, who took good care of him over the years, along with the whole family, and two sons. Aditya is the elder one, and hope that nobody can replace the place of a father. But yes, he had tried to do the best for the kids also, and for the family also. Thank you all for the messages and the condolence message to the family, and they will be passed on to the madam and family in due course of time. Thank you all for taking out time.
Naveen sir, 1 minute silence for the departed.
I'll do that. Don't worry. 1 minute silence already we had it now. Dr. Bajwa.
Yes, sir.
You just sat in silence for 1 minute.
Yeah. Again, I think departing last, I'm feeling so much,
I understand the pain and agony. And so with this, we come to the conclusion of today's program. I request Dr. Venkat Giri, sir, President ISA National, to say the final concluding remarks. Dr. Giri, please.
Naveen and friends, we have heard you all. Such a nice gentleman. He was a nice human being. And we were together for a long period and a close association. You all have expressed your feelings to him. How was your relation and how nice he was to you, and all, how he was working with the IJA during this COVID time. Now he is no more with us, but it is our duty to memorize him and remember him always, and what the good work he has done. When people do good work, everybody will remember him. Otherwise, the memory will be short. So everybody have expressed their feelings and all. We pray God to give sufficient courage to his family. We may remember a few days and all, but his family, his children, and he is lost forever. Losing father for children, because the loving care is not there. Is what we. So let God give sufficient courage for children to bear his loss, and let God give light to them to move in the right direction. With this prayer, I hand over to Naveen to close this meeting. Thank you.
As has been requested by individual SMS messages, once again, you can pray in silence for 1 minute, whether you want to do Ombur Bhavasava or whatever local religion you follow, so that the noble soul rests in peace, and God gives strength to the bereaved family, and may Lalit sir soul rest in the foot of our Almighty God. 1 minute silence prayer in his memory, in your own language. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
Naveen,
Om
can we
Shanti.
chant Gayatri Mantra at the last? In the end?
I said that.
Om Bhur Bhuvasah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
Thank you all.
Shanti.